Okay. Well, I just lost 16 minutes of footage, so that's awesome. Let's just run it back. So this is a little deep dive about Filthy Frank, also known as Student Filthy, um, uh, Joji, George, whatever you want to call him, or Distant Music or whatever. So let's just get right into it. Honestly, I dragged the whole video out, so let's just keep it short. Why don't we? So Joji, George, is a YouTuber, actually coming in, starting YouTube from 2011, which his first video was called Lil Jon Jumps Off a Table or something. Let's look at it right here. So his first video comes off of Disaster Music, and it's Lil Jon Falls Off a Table. I'm not going to play it because it has a copyrighted song. So that was in 2011. Then he uploads a video like 2 years later called Filthy Shit, and that is where it starts his whole career as Filthy. That leads really well. He actually ends up making 3 other channels, Too Damn Filthy, and also Filthy Frank, which is the well-known one. That's great. So we all know he left in 2013, and he didn't come back, and he hasn't still come back. He quote unquote came back as Joji, which I'm honestly not surprised. He has many skills in the lyrical and musical industry. As you can see, he has very popular songs and a whole album on Spotify as well, which it's quite impressive. Which has probably a lot of monthly listeners, and I'll cut back to that now. Joji has a solid 14.7 million monthly listeners, and his most popular song being "Slow Dancing in the Dark." And if you also look up Filthy Frank, it does not bring you to one of his songs because they've all been terminated, which sucks, which is kind of weird. So you may guess, search up Pink Guy. Some of his songs are still there. Some of them have been deleted. For some reason, that I guess the playlist is deleted because I still see his songs. Some of his songs are very popular with 28 million views, has 1 million solid monthly listeners. So it's not like, he doesn't matter or anything. It's not like no one forgot him or remembered him. He's still alive. And let's just cut back to a Wikipedia page. I found a Wikipedia page, but I thought this one summed him up in a better, more honest review. So, it reads as follows. Dr. Filthy Francis, or Francis of the Filth, simply known as Filthy Frank, was the titular protagonist of the show, our YouTube channel, Filthy Frank. Was known for offensive, shocking, alternative, and filthy humor, filming himself, his friends, and his bizarre entities living in his house. Apartment, really, that's what it was. Frank became the star of his own show, The Filthy Frank Show, an internet comedian, vlogger, chef, musician, satirist, and absolute madman. Filthy was the edgiest man on the internet. So I don't agree with this. Vlogger, he was not really a vlogger. He was a kind of a YouTube comedian. He's still a musician, chef. Actually, he was a chef. He made many videos titled, like, Making Ramen While Rapping. He's not a madman. He doesn't make edgy content. He just makes content that's offensive. I'll give you that, offensive. Edgy's like saying, oh yeah, hail Hitler, he's so cool, Jews die. That's offensive. I mean, that's offensive and edgy. He's not like that. He might make a joke about a black person, but I mean, this is like 2014, and I think a lot of people did that. Please don't go at me for that. So let's cut back to one of his YouTube channels right now. Filthy was the man of making controversial content and funny content, featuring another popular YouTuber, Ian, or iDubbbz, in, one of his popular videos called The War's Coming. Ian, iDubbbz, still uploads pretty consistently. I think his last video was like 3 weeks ago. I haven't checked in a few days. And his popular video is actually a song called, we all know what that means. And it's, I like the song. It's pretty good. It's pretty, it cusses a lot. And his second most popular video is 100 accurate life hacks. As you can see, his oldest video is the video called Welcome to Second Channel. His first channel was Disaster Music. He continuously makes videos. This is around he's getting 100, maybe 1,000 views or thousands of views. He makes controversial content, as you can see, and he fake titles some things, and that's what we'll get to right here in a second. Does Filthy Frank regret it? Personally, I don't think he regrets it. I think he's glad it happened, and I think he's glad that he had some time to just say what he wanted and no one really cared. But I don't think he's coming back, and for many, many reasons that we can blame on people that we know, or maybe ourselves, depends who's watching this. And if you blame it on yourself, I don't want you here on my channel. For one reason, we don't like people like you. You're the reason that some of us can't even have our favorite YouTubers here. So, our main reason why Filthy Frank cannot come back, and people keep saying it, is number one, the homely reason he would get canceled. But he wouldn't at the same time. You can't cancel a YouTuber who doesn't care about how the world sees him, which he does not care. But Joji might. That's why Joji keeps his mouth shut. It's the same person, it's just a different personality. Yes, Filthy and Pink Guy are characters that he plays, and yes, he might not be that person, but for a few good years, maybe he was. Maybe he just was always recognized as those people, and he got a smile on his face when it happened. I would too if I was. Yes, he has a game. I don't want to talk about it. I don't know what it is. It looks terrible. So I'm going to wrap this video up saying, I know it was quite short. Didn't have a whole lot to say about him. Most people know stuff about him. I'll be linking some of his songs, his channels, and some things about him, maybe even his book, down in the description. And, comment, like, and subscribe if you liked what you saw. I don't know. I don't really want to beg for likes or anything. But I missed the guy, and, tell me if you do too.